Oh, you make me wanna talk back to you. Say it like that. If I hate you, then find someone new. Baby, but you know I never will. No, so I choke you down just like a pill. Oh yeah. Take you like a pill.
I can never ever find the right words, and there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right. It feels right. It feels right. Yeah, I can only say that it feels right. It feels right. It feels right. Yeah, I can only say that it feels right.
Hello guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, man, we are here.
No good?
Yeah,
Yes.
you so.
I was gonna experiment, but not really. Something there. Try it right now.
Let me do the credit again.
Alicia, you good?
Yeah, man.
Alright, cool.
The credit. You can't last it, sir. Oh.
Hey guys.
Hey,
No,
Dr. Alicia.
Yeah.
I'll try this Instagram signal one more time. Dinar is here already. Just letting you guys know. I will do the program. So Kashina won't be here today because she will be going to digital for some stuff. So she won't be here until but I'm not sure to be back in time. Also, Michaela, hear from Michaela. Can somebody give her a link, please, because she's supposed to do the opening prayer. So I'll go on to my camera now. Where the camera? To this one. Oh yeah, guys, we're live on YouTube.
I know now.
Yep. I'm going to start admitting persons here. So at exactly 3 o'clock, I'm going to
Wait. I'm thinking about playing 4 pick 1 word for the icebreaker. You guys think it's a good idea?
I mean, yeah. You're going to share a screen?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
I'm
cool,
just
no problem.
ask if you have a share screen.
All right, no problem. I'm going to admit everybody now here.
Okay.
Rising with each beat of the music is we're inviting the night in. Welcome, heart, soul, food, I'm devoting myself to the night. There's no motive, we're just listening, we're existing. We stay where the music plays, where the notes drop below, where the people sway.
gon' burn it down. Burn it down. We gon' burn it down. Burn it down. I killed it. It's murder. I killed it. It's murder. I killed it. It's murder. I killed it. It's murder.
I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Can you guys hear me? If you could just indicate in the chat that you're hearing me, or send a thumbs up or something. We are about to begin. All right, guys, thank you. Thank you for the feedback. I appreciate it. All right, so I'm officially calling this meeting to order. And so we are just going to do a brief prayer and then we get into the welcome. All right. So I trust you guys are doing well. And so I hope you're all looking forward to a great meeting today. Welcome to another FMA meeting. Well, I'll leave the welcome for the person that will be doing so. In the meantime, I'm just going to do a brief prayer and ask for God's blessing on today's meeting. All right. So you can just bow your heads as I pray. Lord, Heavenly Father, we are thankful for this another FMA club meeting. We are grateful for your mercies and your grace towards us. Many persons are not able to join today, but Lord, we are able to do this and we're able to connect on this platform. I pray that you'll bless this meeting. I pray that every single person that joined, including the speaker as well, will have a great experience, a great time as we seek to develop each other. Have your way in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, so yes, so over to you, Kamisha, as you do the welcome for today.
Okay, thanks, Ravel. So hi guys, welcome to another FMA meeting and thanks to everyone who's joining us today. We know that it is getting close to school ending right now and stuff like that, so you guys have a lot to do, but thanks for tuning in and we hope that you will get something valuable from our guest speaker today because he's really awesome and I think he's going to do a great job. And remember that tomorrow night is our Sada, so make sure you come out. Yeah, all right. So enjoy the meeting, guys, and have a wonderful Thursday.
All right, thanks for that, Kamisha. So now over to Shania to do the icebreaker for today. Shania, ready?
Ready. Hi guys. I hope you're all excited for this icebreaker. But first, I have a little credit to give away. No, that don't mean that the members group now. Home never get to give it away yesterday, but have it right now phone on. So hear me say now. The first person to tag us in our Rosado poster on their Instagram story gets $108. This is a credit. Come the first person to do that wants to the notifications, wants to all the notifications right now. The first person to do that get the credit. May I watch out?
Hold on, repeat more enter to, you know.
Who is that? That sound like Javis, you know.
No, man, I'm a Javis, man.
Who is that?
Might not even on.
The first person to upload the Rosado flyer and tag UTech FMA gets the credit. But until then, until Mr. the first person tag us, as I don't see nobody yet, I'm gonna have 2 phones, you know, so one I can reach. So let's see. until then, we are going to play 4 picks, 1 word. Just give me a second while I share my screen. I don't have to turn on the mic for this, people.
Just tweet and I'm gonna win.
Let me see. Let me check. Robert, I'm not like how you're inside now. Okay, guys, we're going to play 4 pick 1 word. Just give me a second. And I'm going to need you guys to turn on your mics so we can guess these answers. Oh man, just for that answer. Okay, guys. What do you think this one is?
Ireland.
Tonight, someone said Ireland.
Oh. Never hear at all. Woo! Okay. Next one. Let's go. Who's going to guess this one? Cameron.
Pole.
What?
Pole.
Full? Yeah.
Both of them, yeah.
Right sparks. Okay, this one. Quick.
Pole.
Pole. Okay. All right. This one. I can't see the chat enough, so not unmute no mic.
Oh.
I didn't hear that one.
Yeah. Coco.
Okay, Robert, come true. All right, last one.
Oh, wait, what could I answer to?
Cat.
This is a very easy one. This one is the last one. Last one. Okay.
Sound.
No sir. Camstead. Sound.
Yes, sound.
Woo, that's it, guys. That's it. Tell us in the comments if you enjoyed that one. Enjoy the icebreaker. Let me know. And for the person who win the credit, Masood DM no.
All right, big up to Shana, big up. So next now, we are actually going to get into the meat of the matter. And I'm going to invite the members of the PR team to just slide over to do the introduction of today's speaker. I hope you guys are excited, and I hope that there's a lot of entrepreneurs that are here today because, I mean, the topic speaks for itself. Looking at how you can increase brand awareness through marketing campaigns as an entrepreneur. So, so a lot of entrepreneurs there at FMA, so you guys can look out for this particular session, and I'm really anticipating that you guys will enjoy it. So over to Team PR, Alicia, Marisol, over to you guys.
All right, so hi FMA family, what's up? So once I'm here, it's time to introduce our speaker. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys. Give me a minute. All right. Denar Brown is an experienced digital marketer with extensive experience building, maintaining, and running successful digital marketing campaigns. In his current role as a digital strategist for Yellow Media Group and the managing director of First Face Communications, he is adept at creating and implementing client-centered successful campaigns aimed at improving brand awareness and presence. He is also the digital creative director for a few local international brands. In 2019, Denar graduated with honors from the University of Technology, Jamaica, woo! Majoring in public relations and minoring in journalism. Also in 2019, he completed a certificate in marketing management with the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean whilst in his role as a journalist producer at Television Jamaica. Now, though this is not in his bio, Denar was a part of the project Black Rising, and this is a project one of our guest speakers, Joel Nom Darkham, was a part of. Denar is 23 years old and one of the youngest members of the company he is employed to. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Denar Brown.
Well, that was a great, guys, the whole work from home situation, you can probably hear the police car in my background and everything. But just checking, everybody can hear me, right? All right, great. So thanks for having me, guys. I'm really excited to be here. Thanks for inviting me into your space to just share some information with you as well. And that that introduction was something else. I love the vibe. I love everything that's going on thus far. So I'm going to, before I do that, actually, um, there's one common thing between everyone who I know that goes to UTech, and that's we all had to do this entrepreneur course that is mandatory for everybody to do. And at first, like me, did I wonder why do we have to do this course if I'm studying PR, if I'm studying German journalism? Why do I need this course? But eventually, that course was very helpful in helping me to create the space that I now operate in the space that I now create in as a digital strategist and a PR strategist. So it's very important. So throughout my entire presentation, I'm going to just be highlighting some of the things that makes Gen Z. If you're born in the year 1996 or younger, you are a part of the Gen Z generation. Just some data about Gen Z and also millennials, and just helping you to position your brand, to position yourself. If you are your brand, then how to help you to position yourself in today's world and market yourself as best as possible, right? So the first thing I want to touch on is that, and I'm really actually excited as to how the meeting's been going so far. It's very laid back, it's very chill, it's very down to earth, but at the same time, very professional. So one of the things I actually wanted to highlight is that not every brand needs a professional tone. It doesn't always have to be, hi, dear sir, madam. No, it doesn't always have to be that. It can be, hey, Ravel, what's going on? We're trying to get in contact with you about XYZ. It can be quirky. It can be, you're the coolest person ever. So we thought we'd send you this email to try to, it can be, your brand has to mimic and to amplify what it is that you're selling as your product. If your product isn't a quote unquote corporate or professional product, then don't try to fit your product or fit your brand into that square when you know you're a circle. You have to be who it is that you are in the space where you're operating as well.
Excuse me, Danar, sorry. Could you just, you're a bit low for some of the members, you're a bit low. So I was wondering if you're a bit low. Yes. You can project a bit more.
My microphone is right here. Let me see
Yeah.
if that, if me moving closer helps a little bit more.
Are we hearing clearer now, guys? Could you just indicate in the chat, please?
Testing, 1, 2.
Anybody, somebody.
All right. I'll just continue and let me know if,
Okay.
if it helps. All right, great. All right, so the first thing we need to try to delve into in trying to describe everything that we're going to discuss, which is brand awareness in entrepreneurship through marketing campaigns, is what is brand awareness? If you think about it in the sense of the word, it's your brand being out there and people being aware of it. So it is the extent to which persons can recognize your brand and recognize the quality of your brand as well. Sometimes it doesn't even have to be your name. It can be a simple signal. It can be a sound that you hear and you know it's a person's brand. So how aware are people that your brand exists? So if you see that yellow M anywhere, you know it's McDonald's. If you see that if you see, for instance, if you see that Uber sign, which is the black square with the white outline and then the black square again, you know it's Uber. You see it anywhere. There's no writing to tell you that it's Uber, but you know. So it's having your brand out there in a way that it's positioned so that everybody knows it and everybody can hear it. And also the Jake from State Farm ad, which is always that sound that you hear at the end. You can always tell that it's State Farm as well. So that is brand awareness. So what I'm actually going to do right now is I'm going to share my screen, and I want you to just tell me if you can see my screen, by the way, when I share it. All right, can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we're able to.
All right, great. So we're going to delve into this topic right here: increasing your brand awareness as an entrepreneur, being effective and creative in strategy. All right. College students. Everyone on this call, I believe, is a college student, and there are probably future college students who are going to be watching this video and wondering how will they pay for college. Now, the truth is that 76% of Gen Zers already earn their own money through part-time work. 76% of the persons involved in this generation have a part-time job. It means you have your side hustle. You are finding ways to make money for yourself because independence is so important to you as it is to almost every entrepreneur. 38% plan to work during college. There's probably a great percentage of persons on this call who are actively working in side jobs to help to fund their college degrees, right? And some more of the statistics that also exist there as well. Now, one of the big things we're going to be talking about today as well is drop shipping, which is one of the new ways in which a lot of persons, a lot of entrepreneurs, especially digitally, have also gone to in terms of earning money. Drop shipping. What is drop shipping? I'm probably saying it in a way that you probably don't understand the term, but basically drop shipping is you find a cheap site online that is selling a product, you then buy the product in bulk, and then you reposition it for yourself and sell it through your online platforms. So you ship it to these persons. For instance, you ship locally or you ship internationally. That's what drop shipping is. And a lot of persons have been doing this. A lot of people who sell, for instance, bikini wear, who sell belts, who are out there selling shoes, shorts, different clothing items. Drop shipping is what they do to basically push themselves into that entrepreneurial market as well. Research also tells us that a lot less people in the Gen Z generation of in the Gen Z category are going to be less in debt, especially where it comes to college, because we are also looking for jobs out there that will basically help us through college in helping to pay for that. So a lot data as we go along will probably reflect this information in showing you that a lot less persons in our age group as entrepreneurs, as marketers, will probably have less student loans. All right, so let's dive into this topic right here, exploring different channels and the freedom to choose a platform for your brand. So as I said before, if your brand isn't that professional brand, don't try to force it into it. You have to also understand where it is that is best. Like I said, guys, if you hear the noise, you know why. So yeah, so trying to understand your brand and where it fits. Not every brand works for Instagram, and that's the truth. It's not everything you can sell on Instagram. It's not everything that you can put out there on Instagram and properly market it in that space for it to be successful. Some things belong on a Facebook. Some things belong on a Twitter. You have to know where it is that your brand belongs if it is that you're hoping to make it profitable, right? So some of what we're trying to sell in today's world and some of what we're trying to do for ourselves, even as individuals, we have to understand where to position it. If you're trying to position your brand as yourself, you sitting here listening to what I'm saying, if you're trying to position you as that brand to be professional in the corporate sense, then LinkedIn might be the place for you. That might be the place where your brand will best thrive. And how do you market yourself there is by putting out the information that you have garnered over the years so that other professionals in the space can then see you and buy into your brand. But if you sell bikini, if you sell shorts, if you're selling influencer worthy items that are seen out there in terms of a vacation and a lifestyle, then Instagram would probably be the best place for you. And I say Instagram, not Facebook. Because if you're putting things on Instagram, it's understanding that you're buying into this escapism of a reality that you want to coerce for yourself, that you want to have there and exist in. Another thing is if your brand is corporate but also quirky, meaning that you're selling an item, you're selling a service, and it belongs in this corporate structure, but it also has that fun side to it, then Facebook might be the place for you. So it's really understanding the different platforms and knowing that you have the freedom to choose the right platform. You don't have to use everything. You don't have to be on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. No, the freedom of choosing the right platforms and focusing your energy on where it is that you want your brand to go is very important. Now, the next topic we're going to be looking at is where to start. All right, so let me just put myself into this a little bit because, like I said, when I spoke to Relisha before the call, I told her I don't want this presentation to just be another presentation where I come here and I give you all of this information, which you can probably find on Google nonetheless, and it doesn't help you at the end of the day. So also let this be a discussion. So if you have a question, stop me, ask me the question, and I'll be happy to answer as we go along as well. So I said that all to say, in 2017, I started a company. I had an idea. I decided that this idea was great. I was second year in college. I missed a semester, by the way, so I was doing 7 modules per semester, which was crazy. And I decided I had this idea. I want to start a business. I was told, no, maybe you just need to focus on school, finish school, get a job. Don't start the business now, just wait. But I was determined. I decided I wanted this business and I wanted it to happen now, or to at least put something in place to start it. One of the best ways to do that as an entrepreneur, as an aspiring entrepreneur, is basically to start. The best thing to do is to start. If you're sitting on this call right now and you have an idea and I'm telling you to start and you feel like getting up and going to go start it, go start it. Because the best thing to do is to start. If you get up in the morning and the meds lick you and say, all right, today I'm going to do this, make sure you at least get it done. So one of the key things for me to actually have done was to register my company, was to go over to the company's office, be like, here's my ID, here's my TRN, what else do I need to provide you with for you to register my company? And that really just lighted that fire within me to basically push my brand forward and to push the ideas that I had forward as well. So it doesn't have to be registering a company that's the first start for you, right? The first start for you could be as simple as creating a Facebook page, a business page at that, creating an Instagram page, creating an email could be the first start for you. Everybody's start is different. This is entrepreneurship. The best thing about your company won't necessarily be that it's the most innovative thing ever known to man. The best thing about your company will always be you, because there's nobody else like you. So think about that at first. You might be selling shorts. You're not the first person to sell shorts. You might be selling this a product that helps you to clear acne. You're not the first person to be selling a product to clear acne. What you will be the first person to do is to be the first person to apply your personality to that brand, which will make the big difference in everything that you're doing. So in some of the key points in adding to that of where to start in building your brand as an entrepreneur through marketing is to create your brand's profile. So like I said earlier, maybe that's an email. Maybe that's actually getting a different SIM card that is registered for your brand only. Maybe that is creating a Instagram page or whatever other social profile it may be, even a website. You need to do that because it serves as a variety of purposes, making presentations powerful. When I'm in BCAT, which for other persons who might be on the call is the Bachelor's of Communication Arts and Technology at UTech, one of the greatest programs ever. When I was in BCAT, our director of the faculty told us that if you're starting a company, if you're sitting in this class right now, you're starting a company, we're building websites in this class. And in order for your company to become somewhat, quote unquote, legitimate, is for you to have a website. Having a website legitimizes your brand in some sense. So having a website might be that first start. Not necessarily mean you have to go out there and spend money to go build a website. There's Wix.com. Try it. I built so many free websites on Wix.com. It's insane. Start over, start again, forget, come back, start over, start again. All that matters is that you keep coming back to it. So if you start and stop, that's fine. But if you keep coming back, it means you keep getting something done every single time you come back. And that's what's going to make the difference. Present your product or service. How are you presenting this product? What PR initiatives are you putting behind it for this product to be successful? What marketing initiatives are you putting behind it for this product to be successful? You have to understand all of that. I'm probably saying PR and marketing and all of these initiatives, and it's one big bubble. But in the sense, who are you putting behind this product? Do you believe in yourself enough to sell your product? If you don't believe in yourself to sell the product not gonna sell, because you have to believe in it. If you have to sell the product yourself as the owner, you're the entrepreneur, you're the one starting a business. So believe in the product, and everyone else will believe in what it is that you're selling as well. So your product or service has to be there and be present. The brand, people have to be aware of the brand that you're putting out there for yourself. So as I'm talking, what I'd like for you to do, for everyone who's on this call, as I'm talking, take out your phone, right? And I want you to ask yourself, if you have LinkedIn, check to see what product you're selling on LinkedIn. You can look away from the screen, look on your phone, check to see what product are you selling on LinkedIn, right? Check to see what product you're selling on Instagram. Check to see what product you're selling on Facebook, if you have a Facebook page, right? And then you'll understand a little bit more of, okay, so this is me. On Instagram, which is probably the truth for me here, guys, is that on Instagram, I share some of those moments of when I get to escape things like work, when I get to escape some of the realities that I'm dealing with. So most likely you'll see a vacation picture. You will probably see me working out in the gym or something like that. But that's the brand that I decided that I wanted to have on Instagram. And it's understanding the platforms as well. Now, If you go to my LinkedIn page, you'll see articles that I've written. You'll see me giving out information of the field that I currently work in and what I'm doing in this field, and you can garner the information from there. So it's understanding the different platforms, understanding where to put what, and understanding how to make your product present. Now, target audience. In PR, and I put it to you this way, guys, I studied PR and journalism at UTech. And now, well, I worked as a reporter for the better part of a year at TVJ. But now I'm in digital marketing. It's not something I necessarily studied, but is also understanding how to apply yourself there. And it's from the experience in working in digital marketing that I realized, okay, in the communication sphere, if you're able to adapt yourself, just like this group has adapted itself to an online meeting, which I think is going great so far, and which you guys are doing a very good job at, it's learning to adapt. You have to know how to change. You can't be stubborn in the communication world. You can't be stubborn in brand awareness. Your brand has to adapt to what is happening around it. So that's very key if it is that you're looking to position your brand as an entrepreneur. Now, target audience. Everything enough for everybody. You cannot be everything for everybody. You have to know who is in your corner. Who are the people who are most likely to buy into what you're selling? Who are the people who are staying in the realm and in the space of what you're selling and interacting and engaging with you there? Right? If you're selling something that is for people 18 years or older, there is absolutely no need for you to be marketing to people who are under the age of 18. Them can't buy your product. No. If it is that you say to me that the product that you're selling, they can influence, for instance, the adults in their households to buy said product, then that is a different ballgame. But it's also understanding your target audience and trying to build on that target audience as far as you can. But understanding as well that, okay, 7 billion people in the world, internet penetration in the world is only at what? 40%, which is 3 billion of that 7 billion. Will I ever really reach 7 billion people? Maybe not. Can I reach 1 billion? Sure. Will 1 billion of that be my target audience? Maybe not. Maybe 700 million of that will be my target audience. So it's having realistic expectations of what it is that you're selling and spending smart. All right. So this segment of it is going to come more from the PR perspective. What happens offline compared to what happens online? So it's going to be a contrast between the PR elements of entrepreneurship and the digital / marketing elements of entrepreneurship as well. So offline, thinking of what happens offline, what it is that you're doing in the background. For instance, if you have a company that sells earrings or masks, offline, not showing this on any of your platforms or anything, currently, you're probably donating 2 masks, 3 masks, 2 earrings to persons who could actually use it. That's you putting yourself out there and your brand out there for other people to help them. And it's not, don't feel guilty, which is what I've told a lot of persons, is don't feel guilty if it is that you make a donation to somewhere or to someone, knowing at the end of the day that you're hoping for this donation to then help your company. That's fine. It's good that you're in a position to donate. That's great. And someone will benefit from that. But don't feel guilty about the fact that you're hoping that this will help your brand. This is what companies do. Companies help and advocate for other persons to help persons because they're in positions to do that. And in turn, it helps them to get good rep. And that's always great. And that's what they're doing offline, not necessarily in the digital space or in the marketing realm of traditional marketing in any sense. But it's what they're doing to help other people, hoping that this will help them. Now, in the online space, what are you doing in the online space? I'm going to highlight two of the main tools. Two of the main tools that I currently use in my job that I got introduced to after university. I actually got introduced to these two tools in my current capacity. And those two tools are Facebook Business Manager and Canva. If you're not familiar with them, you should get familiar with them because they're two of the most powerful tools, I think, right now that could help you as an entrepreneur sitting at the computer, sitting looking at your phone to build your brand. It helped me. Now, these are tools you can use to create your online content, your digital content, right? Now, Facebook Business Manager is basically that platform that allows us, in some essence, to see those sponsored ads on Facebook and on Instagram. So when you're scrolling through your timeline and you see a sponsored ad, it's probably being ran through Facebook Business Manager, or you can do it through the app itself as well. But if you do it through Facebook Business Manager, there are a lot more intricacies and getting into the advanced parts of it that you can actually control, which can also tell you how to control your target audience and see who it is that's buying into your brand. I didn't learn about Facebook Business Manager at UTech, but now I know it. And I can help you to understand the platform a little bit better. So if you have questions, reach out to me. I'll be able to help you out. My first and last name on any platform is my profile. And Canva. This presentation that I'm showing to you right now is actually something I got from Canva. Some of the information that is here is actually some information that I actually got from Canva because it's very important as well. I also put in some of my own information into it. So Canva has all of these templates, millions, and I mean millions of templates that are out there for all of these different brands, items, projects, whatever it is that you might be doing. And it is free for the most part. So you can access this. These are the tools that are currently available to you to help to build your brand and make people more notice it. Get yourself a logo, plug it in, start using some of the templates, build your feed and curate yourself. There's nothing better than quality that you can be putting out there. So the video long way from your phone is probably not the best thing to put on your feed, maybe for your stories. But if you go on Canva, you can create something that looks a lot more professional and actually enjoy that more and other persons enjoy it more on your platforms. So it's understanding the difference between what happens offline and what happens online and how your brand looks in both spaces. Now, some new data. The biggest startups allocate 75% to social media marketing. Think about that for a second. The biggest startups offer 75% allocate, 75% of their marketing budget to social media. This percentage was before COVID. So that percentage has now increased. You don't need a lot of money to do the marketing part of being an entrepreneur. And I'll tell you this, because I never had money. It's my work and travel money. Stand up 16 hours for the day, flipping burgers, working front desk at a hotel overseas to make the money to come back home, to put into my brand, to put into living as well, is that money. And I would take 1,500 Jamaican dollars out of it, which at the time would have given me almost $15 US. And I put that $15 US into an ad campaign on social media for my brand. So I'm pushing my company out there to possible persons who will buy into the services that my company is offering. $15 US. Break it down. Right now it's probably $2,000 Jamaican. If you don't have the $2,000 Jamaican, well, here's the truth. You only need $1 a day. $1 US, 145.25 Jamaican dollars a day to basically advertise on Facebook. That's the minimum amount per day. So if you believe in your brand, you'll spend for your brand. If you believe you can push what it is that you are selling online right now, which is where a lot of marketing happens currently, then you spend for it. Put the money where it will matter and help to push yourself forward. As I was saying before when I mentioned Canva, is that good design matters in brand awareness. Good design is key. Stop for a second right now and, well, nobody answer. Don't type it in the chat either. But just think about probably all the advertisements that you currently see in traditional advertising spaces that you probably don't like. That you're like, Lord, them still have put out the ad there. Think about it. Now think about all the ads that you're probably seeing that you think are modern and they're new and they're ingenious. Some ads are probably even timeless and still matter. And what it is that makes you like these ads so much more. What if I tell you that you could basically, you could sell eggs to a chicken if it is that the picture of the egg is of good quality? The chicken will buy it. Now, if it's not of good quality, then the chicken is going to be like, my egg that I'm looking at right now is much better. I don't want that egg. But it's putting good design out there. Tools like a Canva, and if you're in BCAT and you're learning, which I never took very seriously when I was doing it because I was so hooked up on PR at the time. I had to come back and go to the YouTube University of learning to use Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere Pro, and Adobe Audition, even better. But these tools are there for us. If you're in BCAT, these are some of the tools that they teach us. If you're not in BCAT and you want to learn, YouTube University. Every professional out there uses YouTube University. Every entrepreneur out there uses YouTube University. The information is there. And by YouTube University, I mean, oh, how do I do this in Photoshop? Search for a specific thing that you want to do. You want to cut this person out of this picture or cut this product out of this picture. Search that, hit enter, watch the 15-minute video. It sounds long. 15 minutes is long, even for me. 15 minutes is long, but it's going to be worth it at the end of the day. You won't have to watch that video again. But then you can design good things for your own brand and build your brand after that. And your brand will go much further. People will pay attention to it because it looks it's much more appealing to the eye. So you're putting yourself out there, and it's not only for products. If you're doing services, make sure the pictures of the people are clear, not blurry, not pixelated, properly sized when you're putting them on social media, right? It's understanding how to do all of that and building your brand. Now, design isn't only from a visual perspective. It can also be from a cerebral perspective in terms of what it is that you think and what it is that you hear within yourself once you're reading something. So, design proper captions. If your brand gets to the point where you have to put out a press release, design a proper press release. Understand what it takes to have a proper press release. The writing aspect of it is very important as well. Because you can have the best picture and people get pulled in and they look at the picture and they're like, wow. And then they read what it is that is under it and it makes no sense. That's not putting your brand in the best shoe that it can use to walk forward. It has to be better. It has to have both elements, visually and cerebrally. So think about what it is that you're putting out there into the space. As entrepreneurs, the truth is that in our generation, especially right now with COVID and even before COVID, is that you're not necessarily only competing with the other 2,100,000 and whatever people in Jamaica, or near 3 million people, sorry. The truth is you're not competing against the world. Yes, most of Jamaicans will be buying into your service or product, but your design and what it is that you're putting on the internet is competing with everybody else. I give you an example. because yeah, I like to make things practical because I know I just said a lot of things, but how does it apply to you? So let me give you one of my examples. If I have a client and the client has the best product in the world and they're selling this and their client is great, but they give me a picture that is pixelated, that not eye-catching, there's words everywhere, you can barely read it. The truth is, no matter how much I put into that picture and how much I put into that caption, when you put that picture into advertising on Facebook, especially, it will get flagged. Facebook literally has a system which is going to say to you, okay, it has this amount of words, so the quality of it is low, so we're not going to show it to as much people because we want to keep our platforms like Instagram at the highest quality. So immediately when you put it out there, it will literally come up in the sidebar when you scroll over in Business Manager. It will literally say, your ad is in the bottom 30% of ads on Facebook, which is not a great thing. So having the best design of an ad, having the best design of what it is that you're putting out there is very important. Instead of putting out 12 posts or putting out 12 tweets, spend the time. Take your time. Put out 3 good ones. The 3 good one will go much further. Much, much further than the 12. So it's understanding that and understanding the design. Entice your audience with stunning visuals. All right, so we look at this and we're thinking, here are some examples of eye-catching content. The minute you see this, you stop and you look. If you're scrolling on Instagram, well, let me speak for myself because I can't speak for everybody else. But the minute I see one of these images on Instagram, I'm going to stop and be like, okay, what's happening here? Okay, what is that word backwards? F-O-R. Oh, it's force. And I'm stopping to look at this and I'm trying to find out what is actually happening. Or I see the girl in the center of the screen here and I'm like, whoa, those glasses are great. The truth is that that picture is actually selling the sunglasses. Great quality and eye-catching. In digital marketing, right? And in building your brand awareness, what we call these are thumb stoppers. In the literal meaning of the word, when you're scrolling, your thumb stops because this is what you see and you look at it. Thumb stoppers. So when you're going out there building products for yourself, building products for the company that you've started or the company that you've inherited or the company that you've now grown into as an entrepreneur, make sure that the content you're pushing out is thumb stopping. People stop to look at it. Don't just put out content for putting out content's sake. There's a feature on Instagram where you, after you don't post for a certain amount of time, when you do post again, it sends everybody in your following a notification. If you don't have the content to put out, spend the time and build it. Use up that notification, use up that feature. It's actually fine. So it's understanding that this realm of space that you're competing in is very competitive, but diving into it nonetheless. All right, so I've been talking about social media for quite a bit now. Go back. So I've been talking about social media for quite a bit now, and building on it. So social media, what your company does, you have to sell a story. Who are you? Where did you start? Why did you start this? I have right here, I've actually pasted notes where you can't see them, guys. But all around, just to remind me of certain things to say. So if you see my eyes kind of straying, is because I'm looking at some of the things that I want to remember to bring up. And on a big piece of paper right here, I actually have advocacy circled, big and bold. Now, how many of us have thought that if, for instance, maybe for guys or girls, or sorry, young women, on this call, that if you post a picture and it's not at the beach and you're shirtless or you're in a bikini, that it might cause you not to get a job. right? Or depending on how it is that you position yourself and your personal brand, that it might cause you not to get a job. Or just plain and simple how you look might cause you not to get a job. Or even more, your belief, what it is that you believe in. You believe that Black Lives Matter, right? Why should that cost you not to get a job? That's the awareness that you're putting out into the space because that is what you believe in. Now, the truth is that we probably all grew up in a society that somewhat still exists, where it is that we see brands, quote unquote, professionally, that do not align themselves with certain controversial topics. But at the end of the day, what it is that people really need to know who you are as a brand. My concern now when I'm buying into things is like, for instance, I love Samsung phones, right? All of the fans in my house is Lasco fan, right? When I'm thinking about these companies, I'm thinking also about, all right, so why Lasco start this company and why is it called Lasco fan? Like I'm thinking about that. So I then go further to find out who are the CEOs of these companies. People are going to go further. When your brand build, because everybody on this call is going to build a brand for themselves and have a business for themselves, and I'm speaking it into being. When you're a brand builder, people are going to want to know who you are and what you stand for. And if it is that some people don't follow you because they don't believe in some of what you stand for, that is actually fine, because you have to be your true authentic self. And that's going to sometimes be the best thing for your brand. So putting it into context, how many companies in Jamaica actually did the Black Tuesday thing? How many companies in Jamaica actually posted about the Black Lives Matter movement? How many companies in Jamaica actually brought some awareness with their own platforms to these issues that were affecting all of us? Ask yourself that. Go out there and look at these companies and look why it is that they decided to do something like this, or why not. Then ask yourself down the road, is this a company I want to partner with? Is this a company I want to also have be a part of my sphere of being an entrepreneur? Now, the PR aspect of it, I know I'm presenting on two parts, guys, so if you get confused, let me know. So the do important work. I had a friend say to me once that everywhere I'm gonna take picture. Everything me I do, me take picture. It can be a bad thing. For instance, imagine if I was trying to present to you right now and I was so much more focused on probably getting a good picture that, oh yes, I'm presenting, Jesus, need to get a picture of this. Imagine if I was more focused on that. We'd miss all of the points that we're actually talking about. We don't want that. But at the end of the day, I'm going to get a picture of myself or ask someone to take a picture of this moment to put out there for my brand, to show that I'm developing my brand and spreading some of the information that I have learned and gotten over the few years. I say all of that to say, if you go out there as a brand with your branded t-shirt on for your company, you know, you probably go down to like a logo stitch and you get your logo put on a t-shirt or something, right? And you're wearing that somewhere, and then you stop to help wherever it is, or you're volunteering. Don't leave it up to chance to expect that there's some hidden camera in the universe somewhere that is going to catch that happening that could also help you. The truth is sometimes you have to help yourself. So if it is that it's not impeding anybody else or bringing or putting anybody else down or hindering anybody else, and you can, for instance, get a picture of the fact that you're helping to clean up the side of the road, right? No dirty up Jamaica, with your branded t-shirt on, that is good for you. You're doing important work and you're putting your brand out there as someone from that company or representing yourself that is doing that important work. And it doesn't only represent a company. You yourself, your face, this, your brand. People know you. People know your face. That's also your brand. And what do you want people to be aware of that you did? You can also control that, right? So you also need to show people the purpose of your craft. Show people who you are. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yes, I agree. And I'll give you a real life instance that just happened the other day. Maybe you've seen the video. I was traveling home to Montego Bay and I was tweeting about the women on the back of the bikes who did not have on helmets in this group of 12. And then in all of that, I saw them passing the car again. I was in the passenger seat. I saw them passing the car again. And I decide I'm going to try to get a video in this pouring rain where I can barely see in front of the car. I'm going to try to get a video of them just passing to show, all right, all the men have on helmets, none of the women have on helmets. There's something that needs to be done. And in doing that video, one of them crashed right in front of me. Slide off of the bike, sliding in the water, hitting the side of the highway, crash. I'm saying that to say, in instances like that, you stop. You don't even, if I was quote unquote a bad person, I kept videoing, trying to, oh, let me video all of this, video all of this, video all of this. No, you stop. You go outside, you go help. And then after that, if someone asks, okay, where's the rest of the video? As people often tend to do, you explain that, no, this is a situation, there's no way I could have planned to see that and catch it on video. I have to stop and go find out and help. So I'm not saying you to impede anything in doing the important work, but if it is that you can get visual representation of it, do so. Help you help yourself. All right, go back to your roots. Show how you started. Mentioned it a little earlier as well. It's also about telling who you are. If you want to do a how I started video, set up your phone, put it sideways. All right, guys, in 2017, I started First Face Communications because I saw the need for X service in the Jamaican sphere. I went through XYZ, 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 and share that. People can actually relate to it. People relate to your story. And then you show the journey of how it is that you built your brand from there. So it's good to always go back to your roots, to understand the story, to understand where it is that you're coming from, so you can see where it is that you're going. Adapting to the different platforms, see how your profiles are created, gauge the audience tastes and preferences, right? And also building a profile apt for that specific platform as well. Said it before as well. Different profiles, different things. If you have the time, not everybody has the time, because I mirror my content on Facebook and Instagram, and that's just because there's a switch at the bottom of when you're posting, it just says post to Facebook as well, which makes life easy. But if you have the time to create different content for Facebook than Instagram, do it. It will only help you at the end of the day because that shows that you understand. Also, I was listening to a podcast the other day. I have podcasts written up here, so I just saw it and remembered. I was listening to a podcast the other day which says that Facebook groups are a great way to build organic reach. So if you have a brand, if you have a service that you offer and you find that you have a group of customers, you might want to ask them if they all want to be in a Facebook group together. And that will in turn build the word of mouth, build the conversation, build the engagement for you and what it is that you're doing out there. Even if you're nail tech, right? Imagine if all of the persons that we know at UTech who sell sweetie out of the jello jar actually had an Instagram page and did some amazing photos, probably dropping a couple ice cement in a video or something like that. You would be intrigued. And then they put there that, okay, DM me for delivery on campus. You're sitting somewhere, you DM them, oh, 3 jello, 4 Hershey chocolate, 4 ice cement, I need $20 change. And that person comes to you. Imagine that service. That person has built their brand. and I speak to them myself. So don't think of what it is that you're doing. Oh, it's too small. It no need to have an Instagram page. It no need for this. No. Create the content, create the platform. People will follow. People will come and be engaged. You just have to start. Get up and start. As I said it before and I say it again, if you're on this call, there's something burning you want to do, and you're listening to me right now rant about all of this information that I'm putting on the screen, and you know there's something you need to do, get up and start it. At least I would have helped one person to realize their entrepreneurial dreams a little bit better. And this is the end of my presentation. So before I read that quote, which I'm going to let sink in for a second, that you're looking at there, I'm just going to give you 4 quick tips. Well, 5. Sorry, I had to take college math twice. Sorry. 5 quick tips to help you to put your brand out there and market it properly. 5. Create memorable stories, not press releases. Understand that it's people you're talking to, not robots. So when you're putting it out there, you put Kingston, Jamaica, October 27th, 2020. We hereby inform you that this will no longer be available, that will no longer be available, and you go down and it sounds a little robotic. Remember that you're talking to actual people. So it would help to make it more conversational. You have a conversation. I'm sitting here, I know I'm talking, I'm seeing, there are 3 videos that are on that I'm constantly seeing these people and I'm feeding off of their energy. When you're writing a press release, when you're writing a caption, when you're writing anything for your brand that you're going to market, remember it's people are real life people, like real, flesh, bone talking people. Yes, you have to understand it's going to be a conversation. So you'd be like, hey, Thomas, we're so sorry we no longer have any of these products in stock. Would you probably like to try XYZ? Let us know. We're looking forward to hear from you. That is more engaging than, Thomas, we no longer offer this product and we blah 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 blah, and you're going down the line and you're listing out, and it's a long thing that when it doesn't need to be. Apart from work emails, if I get an email that is more than 5 sentences long, unless you caught me in that first line, I'm not reading it. I'm sorry, I'm not reading it. Tip 2, be responsive, build relationships. Be responsive, build relationships. Reply to the comments on your page, good or bad. It might be an opportunity. Handle it. Someone comments, you already have an Instagram page, you already have a Facebook page, somebody comments on it. Make it a priority for yourself to reply to that comment in a few hours. A lot of the leading companies out there actually reply to some of these comments within minutes. If you want to be one of those leading companies, you have to be striving to beat that. There are tools there on Business Manager, on Facebook, on even posting platforms like a Sprout Social that can help you to do this. Download the relevant apps on your phone that will help you to do things like this. Pay attention to the notifications when they come in. Be responsive and build relationships, because when you're responsive, you actually get into that conversation. That's an engagement. There are large companies out there fighting for engagement. Imagine you have 250,000 followers on Instagram, and every time you post a picture, there's only 17 people like it. You're lacking engagement. You need to build the engagement with your customers so that they can feel, oh yes, as big as the company is, there's still somebody I can talk to. And that's what you need for your brand. So even when you're starting out small, the best time is now. Build on those relationships now as an entrepreneur, as a small business. Build on those relationships, make those engagements, have those conversations. Tip 3, create a media or press page for your website. Include your social media links in everything. Wix.com, guys. Wix.com. Wix.com. That's it. Go there. If you're even better at it, if you're paying attention in the HTML class in BCAT, which I never did so well at, but I still learned a few things. But if you're paying attention in that class, use that. Build your website. If you can't afford to do it, build a free one and work with the free domain where it will say, okay, it's going to say relishalang.wix.com, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be long. It's not going to be specific, but start. You can put that in your Instagram bio and people can click on it and find the information. And when they find the information, everything that you've been doing, those pictures that I'm telling you to take when you go out there in a branded t-shirt, those captions that you're writing, those things that you're experiencing as a business owner, put that on your website so other people can read it and be inspired. It will drive the traffic there. It will build more customers for you. It will help you to realize your target audience. Tip 4, guest speak on a podcast, IG Live, FB Live, TikTok Live, something. Find something, find a space that shares your values as a company and ask them if you can come talk. Ask them if you can come sit down there and just tell people about what it is that you've learned or come tell your story. Put yourself out there. If you want people to be aware of your brand, you have to at least exist in the space. You have to exist out there. So put yourself out there. And there's a very important tip that I'm going to give you guys. Find the perfect fit with influencers or build yourself as the best one for your brand. This, your brand, individually. But it can also be the brand of your company. You can be your own influencer. If you can afford it, find the right influencers and understand the different level of influencers as well. Micro influencers different from macro influencers. And if you can afford to pay them, go for it. Do that. It helps. But in the meantime, if you're starting small with the idea that you have, that you've registered and you're okay, this is my business and this is what I'm starting with. I only have 2 followers. I only have $3,000 to my name. But I'm gonna start. You go on your computer, you create your content, your pictures, everything. Use your phone. An iPhone is actually a very good phone to take pictures. If you understand how to use a pro camera on a Samsung phone, use it. If you have a camera, even better. Create the content, cut yourself out of one picture where you take with a sheet put up in your house, put it on something, push yourself out there, push your brand out there. You can do it. The tools are all there for you to use. If you can't afford an influencer, become your own influencer for your brand. And who knows, maybe in doing that, you'll build partnerships for other brands and become influencers for those brands, which is the next topic, the next thing that I also want to just say before I leave, before I finish. When you hear me say that quote on the screen, guys, you know I'm done. Gen Z, millennials, 2020, yes, it's happening. I'm one of those persons who thought about really not counting this year either because of everything that's happening. But think of it this way. A horrible pandemic came in place and put a lot of things into a digital sphere. A sphere where a great percentage of us as young people will now thrive. If you work in a business, understand that your knowledge now, because you did a play, light gone. So if you see me cut off, it's because light gone. That you were in, you guys can still hear me, right? Okay, great. So let me, okay, my router has a battery, so, but let me keep going. So understand that millennials that you won't necessarily work in a company again. And it doesn't mean that everybody is going to own a company and then it's going to be one person in a company and that's how it's going to be. No. Instead of it being great big companies with all of these team members, it's probably going to be huger collaborations where you offer HR service for your company, you offer social media service for your company. I'm selling this product. I then partner with you to get these services instead of hiring an HR person, instead of hiring somebody for social media within my own company. It means partnerships, collaborations. Those would be very effective. And before the battery in my router dies, because the light is gone, the last thing that I'm going to say is the best marketing doesn't feel like marketing because you love it and you love what you do. Thanks for having me.
All right, then I'm not sure if we're going to be able to. Right, maybe Tim can answer some questions. Can you answer some questions until?
I'm answering all the questions until this chip out, and then I have to switch to my phone, which is good improvising. So I'll just bring up Zoom on my phone in the meantime while I answer these. So yeah, go ahead.
No problem. So I remember when you mentioned the whole thumb stopper thing, and the very first app that came to mind was Pinterest. Like, if you ever, like, for those of you guys who are familiar with it, it's basically what it says is pinning your interest, right? So when you go on Pinterest and you're scrolling, you're seeing images, and depends on the quality of the photo and what it is that it's captioned and so on. That's what gets you to click on it, and then it redirects you to wherever. However, on the downside, you have some persons who do the whole clickbait thing. They put up something that's totally unrelated to the photo and so forth. So as soon as you said that, that was one app that immediately came to mind, Pinterest. And I was like, wow, look at that. Here I am. I have the app on my phone and I'm scrolling, and I realized that the things that I save are ones in which I find top quality, so to say, and are definitely, beneficial to me and my interests. So that was a really good point that you made. Another thing that you mentioned was the whole being responsive to build relations. A very popular page, I think most of us are familiar with it, is Jamaica Stock Exchange. If it is that you go on their Instagram and you're looking in the comments, whosoever is managing it or the team, they're always responding. And each time their engagement, it keeps getting higher and higher, because guess what? People feel as if someone is listening to them. They're answering questions. They're telling them, okay, fine. A certain message, personal, directed to the DM. So those 2 points really stood out to me. So thank you for that.
No problem.
Marcel, do you have any questions?
Yes, actually I do. So Denar, I am really interested. I'm sure our members would love to know. Tell us a little bit, man, about any marketing campaign that you did. How was the process? How was the result? Tell us about a marketing campaign that you did.
Sure. So one of the brands that I work with currently is Kraft. So macaroni and cheese. And under that as well, because we're in Jamaica, they also do the Philadelphia cream cheese that you probably see in supermarkets, mayonnaise, stuff like that. One of the campaigns that we actually did for them was the Kraft Cares campaign. And basically that was at the beginning of COVID. So we were offering care packages, and we were trying to reach out to as many persons as we possibly could, to just let us know you need help. Right now, it's hard to shop for groceries. And if we can help to alleviate some of that grocery shopping stress with some of the products we already offer, then we can help to provide that to you. So that was one of the campaigns that I did, and that campaign performed very well. A lot of persons reached out to us. I actually sat and had conversations with persons in the messages just about what it is that they were experiencing, and it was good. It's always good to see on the other side of who it is that you're speaking with. In terms of performance, the numbers aspect of it, definitely. During that period, I saw where the page itself that I was managing, the social media
Seems
like
same problem going to the switch.
Right. Guys, if you have any questions, please let us know on YouTube, or if you're on Zoom, please send us any questions that you may have. Hopefully you come back soon.
Guys, I'm also seeing the register in the chat. So please remember to sign. If you haven't done so already. Oh, by the way, guys, what is going to happen tomorrow? Tomorrow is Friday the 30th. FMA keeping something. What is it? Can you guys tell us what it is? What's keeping? Nobody don't know what keep. Hey. Yes, guys. Yes. Tomorrow is Rosado. Ensure that you guys are tuned in. We're really excited about it. And the giveaways that are going to be there. Robert's out and stunting in true FMA spirit. You don't know. So we're really looking forward to see you guys tomorrow. Oh, there he is. He's connecting.
He's back.
You're back. Okay.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we're hearing.
Yeah. So as I as I mentioned before, light situation. So I'm back mobile. I think I stopped in the middle of answering that question. I don't know how much you heard because I was talking to the screen. So yeah.
You probably have to like do that, do it over because I don't think as soon as you started, you're gone.
Okay. I was saying I did the Craft Cares initiative for Craft International, which is one of my clients here. And we did that initiative as a response to what was happening with COVID. So we were giving out care packages because we understood that things got tough. People couldn't afford groceries as much as they could before COVID and before their job situation was impacted. So that was actually good because we got to speak with some of these people, hear some of the real stories behind your customers as well, because there are stories there. And in measuring that, what actually happens is in Business Manager we can measure it. We can see how many impressions, how many likes, how many comments, how many people clicked on the picture, what is the age range of the persons who clicked on the picture, etc. So we could see that, and from that campaign we learned so much, and we actually had a lot of engagement. We had a lot more followers coming onto the page. We had a lot more people reaching out to us, a lot more conversations going to the page as well, and a lot more people clicking on the link that we had there included for them to get in contact with us. So that was actually one of the campaigns that I worked on that was very good.
Oh, that's really interesting. I really didn't know about that, because I'm here doing some intensive research on you, and I'm saying I know about the Black Kings Rising. I said, I know this guy doing more things now. So I say, you know what? Let me come and ask him. But I really love that idea, being that we're in the situation now, you realize there's a problem, and you took it upon yourself to say, hey, what can I do to help? What can I do to resolve this issue? So I really appreciate that. So what are some challenges being a PR strategist?
Challenges. Let's see. What are some of the challenges? Some of the challenges is real. Well, for me, starting out, because I'm still very young, guys. So I was actually learning a lot in some of the opportunities that I got. The opportunity of working in the newsroom at TVJ has taught me one of the most important lessons I think I'll take into the entirety of my career, which is that Jamaica is so much bigger than Kingston. there are people who exist in Jamaica who don't live in Kingston. So when it is that you're creating something and you're creating and you say, yeah, man, people are going to love this. And this is what people want to hear about. You have to also understand that your immediate surrounding, which might be influenced by just Kingston, might not be all of the information that you need to put, might not be the information you need to put out there. So as a challenge in writing, especially, that was there for me because I was pulling from my immediate influences. So it was a challenge in understanding how to broaden that perspective, to pull everybody else in and to basically attract and engage with everybody else that I'm possibly writing to and possibly trying to relate to public relations as well. So that was one of the challenges for me. There are other challenges that we might face that are slowly changing, is that there are certain expectations that might be there in a PR sense of what things must look like, how things must be done, and how it must basically exist. And even though it was one of my challenges to challenge things like that, I think we should all make it a challenge of ours to just challenge some of these norms, become disruptors, find new ways, find new creative ways to reach the people you're trying to reach as well.
Right, and that I had another question for you, because I want, being that you are a PR and I know PR, there's a lot of work. You're basically the face of the company. So, is there ever a point in which your audience has been misunderstood because of a strategy in which you used, or to bring across the brand, or any challenges as it pertains to whether or not the audience was getting the adequate amount of information that you want them to get? Was there any challenge as it pertains to that?
As I'm thinking about it, what I'd say is a lot of the PR aspect of what it is that I do now comes up more digitally. And that is more amplified by the fact that we're in COVID and COVID times. So everything is online. What I'd say is I'm very long-winded. So I'll talk. I will talk. And it also comes out in my writing. I will write an entire paragraph trying to get out a thought, and learning to be more succinct in what it is that you're saying. Light is back, by the way. But learning to be more succinct in what it is that you're saying is very good. So challenge, when you're starting out a business, when you're starting out a marketing campaign for brand awareness, 1 second. Yes, sorry. When you're starting out a brand awareness campaign, one of the very key things to do is to try to advertise to everybody at first. And I say that to say, pick the maximum amount of age group you can advertise to if it is that your product allows that, or service, and pick the entire area of Jamaica, which on Business Manager is probably 1,900,000 people estimate. Pick all of that, because what that will do is when you run your first campaign, you can then pick from that to see who is your target audience. Who are the people who actually stopped to listen to the information, stop to watch the information that you're putting out there as well. And then from that, you can build you make the target audience smaller as we go along. I hope I answered your question. As I said, I can be long-winded. But yeah, in those aspects, in those instances, being succinct is very important.
I'll probably be joining us back soon.
Hi. Okay. Can you hear me, Alicia?
Yeah, man, go ahead.
Okay. I don't know if you heard the start big, cut it down section of that. Of the ending of that as well. Which is what I was ending with. So having an understanding is very important.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Javis, do you have any questions for Dinar?
Yes. So you stated earlier about some stoppers. I was wondering, like, how do you go about creating one, or like, what are the factors to consider when designing a
Some
thumb stopper?
stoppers.
Yeah.
All right. Let's make this more practical. Tell me a brand that you like, or let's say tell me a product that you like milk or something.
Cereal. I love cereal.
Cereal. Okay. Imagine if you see think about what it is that you want to see in cereal and a type of cereal. For instance, I like Frosted Flakes. So the minute I see a video on Instagram that is basically starting off of the frost that is on the flake, is very close, and it's just surfing the frost, and then it opens out into, you see, I've already stopped you in thought. So the minute I saw that, my thumb stopped and I started to watch. So it's thinking how to bring things from a different perspective that make people go, eh? What going on here? So what that? I have to look at that. Now, thumb stoppers won't always be aesthetically pleasing. Let me put it that way. Because also think about how many times you've been on social media or reading a newspaper or a magazine or whatever it is, or even television, and you see something that just makes you stop and go, what is happening here? It's not the best thing visually, not the best thing artistically, but it just brings you in to look at this, or it really just not make no sense and you really want to see why it really not make no sense. So things like that, I'd consider thumb stoppers. So there are varying categories of how to achieve that. But one of the best categories you can use for your brand is by creating aesthetically pleasing, engaging content on your platforms.
Javis, your mic is on mute. We're still not hearing.
Are you hearing me now?
We're hearing you now.
Yeah, so that answered my question. Thank you.
No problem.
All right, so I realized that as it pertains to website, I almost forgot about this now. I realized that you were talking about HTML. Trust me, I'm a BCAT student and the coding thing kind of rough, but we're no. I'm a second. So Rolisha and I are a second year student and we're using WordPress, but I didn't hear you mention it. So how comes you never mention WordPress now? I know about Wix that coming up, but what about WordPress?
All right. So when I was in the program, we actually used WordPress to create blog sites a lot. WordPress is great. You can actually take the website from WordPress and integrate it into a hosting platform. As in, when you probably get money, you get somebody for host it and you get the real domain. WordPress is one of those great sites. I've just become more accustomed to, after all of my tried attempts, successes and failures, at making websites on Wix, which is why I mentioned it more. The templates were great. The interface is great. It's easy to navigate and very simple in helping you to get the information you want to create and put forward. I should also mention that there is a tool on the ministry, I think it's the Ministry of Labor website, double check, that can actually help you to create a free website for yourself. As well, they've actually put a tool there to help small businesses to create a website there as well. So if you want to explore that option also.
Okay. I need to check that out though. I didn't know about that. I need to really go and check that out. And when I do, I'll let the members know about it as well. well.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Jarvis, you want to say something?
Oh no, I'm good.
You also mentioned going back to your roots, right? And I remember like a few years ago, like if it is that you were to, as Sweden said, no, like publish things, whether it be ads on TV, radio, wheresoever in the newspaper, language, like in terms of like accepting Creole and Creole being used extensively. No, it wasn't a thing. But I realized no, you have businesses where they literally do have no problem communicating with their customers through Creole because and they actually realize that no, people are actually, more engaged because they feel as if they don't really have to like go outside of their comfort zone, so to say, in terms of like language. So that again goes to going outside of Kingston and St. Andrew, remembering that you have the rural areas as well. So I really appreciate that in marketing strategy as well.
Yeah, definitely. You have to understand, and it took, even though that was a period where everything was in standard English and it's to the T, and that was a period in Jamaican advertising. Everything evolves. Everything evolves. So as we became more, as I like to put it, more comfortable in ourselves, we realized that we really don't need to put everything out in standard English to show that we actually know what we're doing, right? You don't have to, I don't like, you see me variate, but I don't necessarily have to come here so come talk in a standard English. For you to understand what I say, you still get the information me I try to put out there. I try to speak in standard English too because I realize that the audience is a lot bigger than just Jamaicans on this call because we're also streaming on YouTube. So I try to understand that as well. But the truth of the fact is you can use Creole. I'll give you a classic example of something I'm actually doing right now with our same company. They have it's been in the media as controversial, an advertisement, which is basically this lady who says, she comes onto the screen, and she's standing at a kitchen counter and she says, in this time where we're all going through this pandemic and everything is happening, one of the most comforting things that you can do to help those who you love is to send nudes. And then she stopped. Precisely. The minute you hear that, your thumb stops and you're like, what is this lady talking about? Like, why is she telling people to send nudes? And then she goes on to say, no, send nudes, and she holds up the box of macaroni and cheese, and she says nudes, as in noodles, not nudes on your phone, right? But it stops you in your tracks and pushes you to think like, what is happening here? But it's also not something that it's very unorthodox, and it's okay to be unorthodox. It's actually good right now in the digital sphere to somewhat be disruptive, to pull some attention to yourself, not bad attention, even though you learn in PR that, you make the best of a bad crisis. But to pull attention to yourself, as much positive attention as you can get. So that advertisement was actually very controversial, but it actually pushed the brand out there a little bit more, and people see it as quirky. Once again, guys, not every single brand is professional. Dear sir, madam, no. Sometimes it's just dinar. It's not Mr. Dinar. Sometimes it's just dinar, right? Sometimes it's just Relisha. And even in a professional sense, it can be just Relisha. When I get a PhD and my doctorate, it will still just be dinar. And that's because I understand that my brand is not necessarily that professional corporate brand as Dr. Dinar Brown. No, my brand is dinar. I come and talk to you. You understand our reason?
People like that whole personal feel as well.
Yes, it does. Yes. Mm-hmm. I hope I answered your question, by the way, Alicia.
Yeah, man, you did. Hey guys, do you have any questions? Any comments?
Ask your question, guys. Ask your questions.
Come on, guys, don't be scared. If you have a question, ask. Trust me.
In the meantime, though, dinar.
Mm-hmm.
Are you thinking of are you thinking of putting your photography skills out there more? I think I saw a link in your bio.
Uh-huh.
So are you thinking of, expanding yourself in photography, or tell us about that?
I can't take a picture to save my life. So let me start there. But a good thing also is to realize, which is, I think this would be a very good point. Sometimes we're talking to companies, sometimes we're talking to brands, we're talking to people, and we see all these things that they're putting out social media and otherwise, and we're thinking, oh my God, great. But sometimes those persons are just the minds and not necessarily the hands of the projects. My very good friend is actually the person who takes some of the very great photos that you probably see and have there. And even the link in my bio, which is to that creative page, is actually his idea as well. But when it comes on to the strategy behind the page and how we get people to click on it, and the idea to even put the link in the bio so that other people realize it, that's where I come in. When it comes on to directing it, and I say, oh, probably you want to catch it from this angle, but I can, even if I tell you to catch it from X angle, I still can press the shutter button to catch the photo how it's supposed to come out properly, but I can direct it. So you understand your skills, you understand where it is that your strength lies, and you play into that. Photography, maybe not. Not for me. Strategy, building, digital, creating PR, sure.
I guess that's where teamwork comes into play.
Teamwork.
You build that team, all right, your shorts in one area, but you have a person that can make up for that.
Yeah. Definitely.
Any questions, guys?
Did it freeze again?
Check the chat.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, we're hearing.
Okay.
Yeah, we're hearing.
Okay. All right, great.
Can I say something?
Hey, hi, Javon.
Sure.
Okay, first of all, afternoon. Great presentation. I learned a lot. Okay, so my question is, I'm an aspirant entrepreneur. Basically, I own an online jewelry business. So
you own an online what?
Jewelry business.
Okay.
Yeah. So for me, I'm not sure if it could help me, but I'm just getting it out there. My biggest problem would be money management. Basically, so if you have any tips on that.
Sure. I'm going to introduce you guys to a site. So Javon, take out a pen, paper, or if you write on your phone like I do, take that out and look for this site called Wave Invoices. Now, that's a site that I use to send out my own invoices for my company and personally as well. And it also helps with money management. So in Wave, it basically becomes your accountant for the time being. So you spend an hour, put in all of the information of, okay, this is the amount of money I get, this is what I earn, etc. You fill in all of that information. It will do the calculations for you. And then every time you have to deliver a jewelry piece to a customer, you create an invoice for that, which makes your business look a lot more professional as well when you do that, by the way. You create an invoice for that. When you get paid, you mark it that you've gotten paid, and it will keep a track of all of those sales that you've made, and also help you to keep a track of your expenses. So when you have to spend on raw material to make the jewelry, put that in, and it will tell you, okay, this is the amount you have left to spend, this is what you've already spent, etc. Like I said, guys, earlier in the call, I had to do college math twice in university. I tell people all the time, I'm not the best at math. So when it is that it comes on to help in these areas, or help in calculations or in accounting and stuff like that, I look for the apps that can help me because they exist. And one of those apps is Wave Invoices.
Okay, thanks.
No problem.
All right, then I seem as if we're out. Wait, oh, wait. All right. Candice is asking, what are some content ideas other than just pictures that can grab persons to your business?
Content ideas. The best way to get engagement is videos. So we consume a lot more videos than we do images. And that's going to just build going forward. For instance, TikTok. TikTok is just videos. And I don't know about anybody else, but the minute I open the TikTok app, I know there's 30 minutes of my life I will not get back because I'm going to be there scrolling through TikTok. So videos is one of the things that you can use. Articles, if you're good at writing, if you like writing, write articles, put them out as blog posts, put them on your Twitter, create a thread on your Twitter and put that out. That's content. Infographics. If you like doing graphics, if you're good at it, if you like that creative aspect of creating infographics, you can also do that. Yes, it's still an image, but it's actually different in a sense where it's offering you information at the same time where it's putting graphics where at the same time it's an image as well. So it's a combination of all of these creative ideas. So you can explore some of those as well.
Candice, was that okay? All right. Thanks for that question, Candice.
No problem.
Yeah. All right, then. So apparently that's it. There are more questions.
No problem.
I'll be giving it a vote of thanks though. Right. So then I'd like to say on behalf of the FMA family, big thanks to you. We appreciate the time that you took to actually sit and talk with us and to provide us insights in which we know that our members will carry out to their business and even in life, so to say, after university. So I'd like to thank you again. And your presentation was really well put together, really super engaging. And this is our token of appreciation. So I'll be sending it to you via email and we wish you all the best. So thanks again, Denar.
Thanks a lot. And this is actually great. That's really innovative. I need to give you guys, that's really innovative in giving the certificate, a digital certificate. That's very cool. And I appreciate it. I'll tag it on my Instagram and on my LinkedIn as well. So you can look out for that as well.
All right, no problem. Thanks again.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. And go out there and build, collaborate, build, get yourself. And remember, get up right now and go start. That's the best thing to do. Just start. Have a good one.
Like a captive. I'm to you.
Before
All
we
right,
go,
guys. Yeah, man, go ahead, Jarvis.
just remember tomorrow is Rosado. We have DJ Kyle, DJ Damsel, DJ Kano, and you have the chance to win a rude shirt and plenty of credit giveaways.
Credit.
So be
Yeah.
there.
Pay off on
Nice
a
to
loan,
meet you tomorrow.
guys. Yeah.
Oh, hold on. They might hear me, right? Now hear me?
Yeah.
Praying.
Yeah, man. Also to everyone, I don't know, the true party sense, we normally have like money pull up and thing. So for our idea of money pull up and seeing that an event in recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, what we want to do is have donations be made to the Jamaica Cancer Society in relation to breast cancer awareness, right? So any money pull-ups that would be done or whatever would go straight to them. So the link for the site will be on the Mixler page when we start the party and so on. So look out for that, guys. And as Jarvis was saying, lots of giveaways, credits, root shirt, all of that. So make sure you tell your friends and all of that, guys.
Ready?
All right, so that's it, everybody. Thank you all for being a part of today's meeting. And I now hereby call for the adjournment of the meeting for today. Bless up, everybody, and stay safe.